Hi everyone, I'm Katrina, and in this video, let's go over how to put together Artificere, the free responsive e-commerce theme by Woo Themes. So I received a note from Crystal asking that I put this video together, so thank you Crystal for letting me know about this cool theme. This is a great design, especially for anyone who's looking to sell arts and crafts or something creative and arty on your website, mainly because the design elements within this particular theme they're really fun, they're really colorful, and just really creative and arty overall, and we'll see that in just a moment. So I want to point out though two of the main features that help make this particular theme stand out. Number one, not only is it free, and that's always a great thing, so thank you Woo Themes for providing this free e-commerce theme to us, but the other really great thing about this particular theme is that it's responsive. So this theme is going to look as great on your mobile devices like your smartphones and your tablets as it will on your laptop or your desktop. So just as a quick demo, note up at the top, here we are on the home page of the desktop laptop view of the website, and we see here in the menu navigation area there's all these different words that are actually in a row across the navigation bar here. But when I come to the bottom right and I change the size of the window and I make it smaller by dragging it to the left, note how all the different elements on the website, on the home page, have all collapsed and now they're stacked one on top of the other. And as we see here, we can see each of these different elements, these different sections of the home page really clearly, and they're still large enough to read, and the whole entire window or website homepage looks quite different than we just saw in the laptop desktop version. Also note that the menu navigation now here at the top, instead of having words really small as it would be if it just collapsed, now when I click on this, you have a really great drop-down menu so you can easily navigate around the different areas of the website. So this once again is the smartphone-sized window of the website, and this is what you can expect to see when you look at the website on a smartphone. So going back to the laptop and the desktop view of the website, the other cool feature to note about this particular theme is that it comes in a variety of different colors. So the color scheme that we're looking at right here is the default color scheme, and I really like this color scheme. It's like a violet and it has a really complementary brown tone and then this beige color. So this is the default color scheme, but this particular theme comes in a number of other colors that with a click of a button, you can change the entire color scheme from the default colors here to indigo, honey, yellow, orange, and a few other colors to choose from. So that's great because you can really match the colors to match the branding and the look and feel that you want for your business. So let's take a quick tour around the WordPress website that we'll be building in this video. So once again, here at the top, you'll have your menu navigation area. Then on the left-hand side in the header, you'll have either your website name and a tagline or a logo. You'll have your shopping cart features here on the right-hand side, some calls to action to check out. Then on this particular theme, you'll have one or two sentences, maybe 3 sentences worth. You can add a short description of what your website's about, and you can add a button here, call to action, whatever that may be, and I'll show you how to do that in this video. Next, we see on the home page you'll have your featured items here for your product catalog, so different featured items will show up on the home page, and then underneath that you'll have one blog post, your most recent blog post, followed by on the side you'll have a sidebar with some contact information, so your phone number, your email address, and also note that this home page is customizable, so if you prefer to have this sidebar on the left-hand side, you can do that as well, and I'll show you how to change the configuration of these two boxes in the video. Just underneath this section, then finally you'll have your footer area, and in the footer you can add whatever kind of customizable content you'd like. So we see in the demo here I have added my Flickr photos, I have some social network icons so anyone can easily contact me or connect with me on the social web either via Google+, or Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Pinterest. And then I'll also add an email sign-up form so I can start getting in touch with people by collecting their email addresses right on my homepage. So I will show you how to set up the homepage in this video, as well as the internal pages of this particular Artificer Woo Themes WordPress e-commerce design and website. So let's take a look at some of the internal pages, starting with the shop page. When I click on shop, you'll see here we are on the shop page, and as I mentioned before, there's a lot of really neat, really fun, artistic, creative, crafty looking design elements throughout the website and including on the shop page. So now we have these Polaroid looking images for each of the different products held up by tape, as we can see it right there, and then you've got these straps with tilted boxes and this dashed line all around it. So this is just a really cool, creative, crafty theme. So this is a shop page where all the products in your product catalog will be featured. So let's take a look at one of these products in particular. I'm going to click on this navy yoga t-shirt right here. And here we are on the product page of this particular product. So on your product page, you'll have a thumbnail on the left-hand side. You'll have the title of your product and the price, a short description of the product, and then you'll have your attributes. So I'll show you in this video how to set up attributes. For example, you may have a product and perhaps you have different sizes or different colors. So you can feature the different attributes on the same product page. So just underneath this section, you'll have another section with a longer product description as well as additional information, which will include the attributes once again in another box here that says additional info. Then you'll have a review section, and we don't have any reviews at the moment, but when you do have reviews, they'll show up right here as well. Just underneath that, finally, you'll have the related products that are related to the product featured on your product page. So one other thing to note, when I click on this particular thumbnail image, you'll note that there's a lightbox display and you'll have a much larger version of your product, so it's a lot easier for everyone to see. So this is what the product page will look like. Let's go ahead and take a look at the portfolio page. I'm going to click on portfolio right up here in the menu bar. And here we'll see on the portfolio page that you can feature all the different images that you may have related to your website or related to your products. So when we click on one of these, for example, I'm going to click on this thumbnail, you'll notice that it opens up into a really cool lightbox display. So I'll show you in this video how to set that up as well. Next in line after the portfolio page is the blog index page, so I'm going to click on blog right here. And here we are on the blog index page where all of the different excerpts of your blog posts will show up. So you'll also notice on the right-hand side you have a sidebar with customized content that you can add. Right now I have a search for products box and a recent products box right here, but you can add whatever you want here on the side. You can add that as well or instead. Also note that throughout the website, always at the top right-hand side, you'll have the calls to action to check out. So for the moment, I'm going to click on this actual blog post, New Yoga Tees Have Arrived, so I'll click on that. And here you'll see on the blog post page that you have the blog post title, some info, the published date, the author, and the category, and then the blog post will begin. So also note that we have another lightbox gallery here. When I click on this one, once again, it opens up into that really cool lightbox again. So I'll show you how to add the gallery to the blog post as well as to the portfolio page itself. Scrolling down, note that on the blog post page, I'll show you how to add these different sharing features so you can share the blog post via the social web, either via Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, or some other social network. Then underneath the blog post, you'll have a little short bio as well as your thumbnail image of the author. And then below that, we'll have the comments that anyone who'd like to comment on the blog post can leave a comment down here. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at the blog post itself, let's click on the About page. Most likely you'll want to have an About page to share information about yourself or your online store, your business on the web. So here I'll show you how to create a full width page where you can add an image, some text, and then also, once again, another call to action button at the bottom. Finally, we have the contact page. So I'm going to click on the contact link here in the menu bar. And here you'll see on the contact page, anyone can contact you via your website, directly by filling out this form. So they'll just fill out their name and email, write their message, and then at the bottom they can click on submit. Back on the shop page, let's take a look at how the checkout process will look when a customer wants to buy an item on your online store. So once again, I'm going to go down to this yoga t-shirt here and click on that. And then here on the actual product page, I'm going to select a size. So I'll keep it a small and I'll choose the navy color. I can also choose white or gray, but I like navy, so I'll leave it as that. I want 1 unit, so I'll just leave it as 1, and then I'm going to click on this button, Add to Cart, to add the product to the cart. Okay, so the Yoga Slim Tee was successfully added to your cart, and you can click on this button here to view the cart. So I am going to click on View Cart right here. And here on the cart page, you can see the thumbnail image of the item that you would like to order that's in the cart. You see the product title, the attributes you've chosen, as well as the price, the quantity, and then the total. Also note that there's this coupon area here. In this particular website, you can easily set up coupons for your different products, and I'll show you how to create coupons in this video. I've already created one in advance, so I'm just gonna add the coupon right here, Summer Fun. And actually, before I click on Apply Coupon, notice on the bottom right-hand side here in Cart Totals, we have the cart subtotal is $40. I've also set this up with free shipping. So in this video, I'll show you how to configure the shipping, whether it's free shipping, flat rate shipping, international shipping, or local pickup or delivery. There's a lot of different shipping options that you can select. So I'll show you how to do that as well in this video. So for the moment, note that the order total right now is $40, but when I apply this coupon by clicking on Apply Coupon, okay, we see the coupon code was applied successfully, and then when I scroll down, now we see that I just received a coupon of $5 off my order, so now my order total is $35. So the next thing is we want to proceed to the checkout by clicking on Proceed to Checkout. And here on the checkout page, a customer would fill in their billing address as well as their shipping address, leave some order notes if they'd like, and then they can scroll down, they can review the order, and then they can click on this button to place the order. Now in this video, I'm going to set up the payment method as PayPal since that's the easiest thing to set up, but of course you can set up other payment methods as well, and I'll show you where you can configure them in this video. So once a customer places order by clicking on Place Order, then they'll go to the PayPal page where they can log into their PayPal account and pay for the product via their PayPal account, or if they don't have a PayPal account, they can simply log in as a guest and pay with their debit card or their credit card. So the good news is that a customer does not have to have a PayPal account in order to pay via PayPal. They can just log in as a guest and they can pay with their debit card or their credit card directly. So this is where we're headed in this video. Once again, we'll be building out the Artificer responsive e-commerce WordPress website by Woo Themes, and it looks something like this. So let's get started. So before we get started, how much is this website going to cost? Well, we need several things. Number one, we need a domain name, and we also need web hosting. In this video, I'll be using HostGator.com for web hosting, and at HostGator, you can get both the web hosting as well as the domain name. I'll also be using a coupon to get an extra discount off of my order at HostGator, and that coupon is WP Coupon 25. So if you decide to go with HostGator, be sure to use WP Coupon 25 as well to get an extra discount off of your order also. I just want to mention as well, I do receive a small referral from HostGator, so thank you in advance for your support of helping me continue to make these free WordPress training videos. Once we have the domain name and the web hosting, the next thing that we need is the theme. And as mentioned, in this video, we'll be building out the free Artificer responsive e-commerce theme by Woo Themes. So in this video, I'll show you where to get this theme and how to set that up. Finally, the last thing that we need is some time, and I'm estimating it should probably take roughly around 2 hours. I'll try to go fast to speed things up, but we'll need some time to allot to build out the theme. So in sum, we're looking at less than $25 to get this particular responsive e-commerce website up and running. Once again, that's using the coupon code WP Coupon 25 at HostGator. So what are the 3 steps we need to take to build out this website? Well, the first step is we need to get the domain and the web hosting. Second, we need to install WordPress. And finally, we need to build out the website. So let's head on over to HostGator where we can take care of step number 1, which is getting the domain and the web hosting. So here we are on HostGator.com. To view the web hosting plans, go ahead and click on the button in the middle that says View Web Hosting Plans. And here we'll see that there's 3 different plans to choose from. We have the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. If you are a small business owner or if you're just getting your website up and running for the first time, most likely the hatchling plan or the baby plan would be a good fit for you. The difference between these two is that the hatchling plan gives you a way to host one website domain, whereas the baby plan gives you a way to host as many website domains as you would like. So there's definitely more of a value in the baby plan since you can host as many websites as you would like under one account. But if you are just getting started, as mentioned, most likely you only have one domain at the moment, then you can go ahead and click on the hatchling plan to sign up for that. So I'm going to click on the baby plan because I want to order that one. And next we'll see that the next step is we need to choose a domain. If you already have a domain, you can just enter that here in this field and click on Continue to Step 2. And if you need to get a domain name for your website, then you can enter the domain name you would like here and you can click on Continue to Step 2. Now just note that down below here it says enter a coupon code, and by default you'll automatically get a coupon from HostGator. But if you want to add even more of a reduced rate on top of that, you can use this coupon, which will give you an extra amount off of your order. So I'm going to put WP coupon 25. That's a special coupon that you can add to get more off the total when you go to check out for your order. So I'm going to leave it at WP coupon 25 to get a little bit more off my order, and I'm just going to put in a random domain name for the moment just to show you for the demo purpose what the next page looks like. So I'm going to click on Continue to Step 2, which brings us to Step 2, the billing information page. Now on this page, we see the first thing at the top is the package type. I had signed up for the baby plan, so we see that right here. And then we see the current billing cycle that I'm signing up for. Now, I do not want to sign up for 36 months of web hosting all at once. I want to keep my expenses much lower than that, and I prefer to pay month by month. So I'm going to click on this here, and I'm just going to choose the billing cycle of 1 month at a time. That way I'll be paying 1 month as I go for my web hosting. The next thing that you want to do is you want to choose a username and a security PIN. Then you can fill in your different billing information right here. Then when we come down here, we'll note that there are the hosting add-ons. By default, HostGator has you signed up for domain privacy as well as the site lock. So you can choose whether you want to include these add-ons or not. I'm going to uncheck the site lock because I have some other ways that I intend on protecting my website when I start building it, so I don't want to sign up for the site lock. And the privacy protection, this is really optional as well, so it's optional if you want to use it. I do recommend signing up for privacy, however, and this is why. When you create a web hosting account on any kind of web hosting company, by default, if you do not have privacy, account details, including your address, your email address, and your phone number, may show up in the web host database for anyone on the internet to be able to access. So I prefer keeping my address and my phone number and my email address private. So whenever I buy a new web domain, I always sign up for privacy protection. If you don't want privacy protection though, you can save some money by unchecking this. I'm going to leave it on for the moment though. Then you can just come down here and you see here is the details. Here are the details of your order. We note that with this coupon, WP coupon 25, we're getting almost $10 off. So essentially the first month of web hosting is free with this coupon. And we can see that here is our domain name and our hosting add-on of $9.95. So in total, we're looking at under $25 to get started. If you want to save some more money, as mentioned, you can uncheck the privacy protection and you'll note that now the total is under $15. But once again, I like getting privacy, so I'm going to leave that on. And the last thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you click on this little box here that says I have read and agreed to the terms and conditions of use. So once you have your hosting order all ready to go, and when this looks good to you, you can go ahead and click on Create Account to create your new web hosting account. So once you click on Create Your Account, you'll get this page which will thank you for your order and will tell you to go check your email for information related to logging into your web hosting account. So I'm going to go check out my email. And here we see on my email account, here's the email from HostGator with my account info. So I'm going to click this email to open it, and I want to point out two things. Number one, the first link that they'll share with you in the email is the billing system link. So if you want to check out any info related to your billing, you can go ahead and click on this link and use the password that they give you. And then right below that, you'll see that there's a link for your control panel with your username and a temporary password. So I'm going to copy this password here, the temporary password, and to log into your control panel, you'll use this link. So this is a really good email to keep in a safe place for future reference, because you will be needing this information as well as the link to the control panel to log into your HostGator web hosting account. So I'm going to click on this link here, and then here is my username. You want to type in your username here that was found in the email, and then you want to add your password right here as well. Once you have that set up, you want to click on Login to log into the control panel of your web hosting account. So here we are on the HostGator control panel. The next step that we want to do is step number 2. We want to install WordPress. And thankfully with HostGator, there's a really easy way to install WordPress using their simple wizard script. So I am going to scroll down to where that is located. You want to scroll down to where it says Software and Services, and you want to find this icon that says Quick Install. So this is what we're going to use to install WordPress really easily in HostGator. We're going to use this Quick Install link, so I'm going to click on that. And once I click on that, you'll note that there's all these different kinds of software listed here on the left-hand sidebar. So right at the top, you'll note that it says blog software, and there's a link here for WordPress. This is what we want to install, so I'm going to click on that. And then you'll note that there's a button here that says continue. Also note that we are installing version 3.5.1 of WordPress, which is the most current version available at the time of this recording. So we are installing WordPress 3.5.1, and then I'm going to click on continue to continue the process. And here you want to choose the domain name that you want to install WordPress on. I'm going to install it on this domain name here. The next thing that you want to do is you want to create an admin email, a blog title, an admin username, and you can also, if you'd like, add a first name or last name. I'm just going to add an admin email here, so put in my email. Also, you want to give it a title, so I'll just call it the name of the domain. Now the admin user, this is an important one to keep in mind. The default for WordPress websites is admin. The admin user default is admin, and that's not really the safest username to use, so you want to create a username that is anything other than admin. So I'll just use my name for the moment. And you can add a first name, last name if you'd like. I'm not going to do that, and I'm just going to click on here and click on Install Now. Okay, congratulations, your installation is ready. So you can access the installation of your new website by clicking on this link here. And also note that here is the admin area login URL that you'll use in the future to access the login panel. To access your website in the future, you want to make a note of this link here. It's usually your domain name followed by wp-admin. So that's an important link to remember as well, so that going forward you can easily log into your WordPress website. Also make a note of your username and password. This is what you will also need, of course, to log into your website when you click on this link. So I'm just going to highlight this temporary password here and copy it. And then I'm going to click on this link here to log into my new WordPress website. So here we are on the login screen of our WordPress website. To log in, you want to enter your username in the username field and your password in the password field, and then you want to click on this button that says Remember Me, so that the next time you come to WordPress, your username and password will be remembered. In the event that you forget your password in the future, or perhaps even now, you want to click on this link here that says Lost Your Password, and WordPress will send you a password reset to the email that you used when you were creating your WordPress website. So for the moment, here I have my username and password. I'm going to go ahead and click on the login button to log in to the WordPress website. So here we are on the WordPress dashboard. This is the first thing you'll see when you log into your WordPress website. And when you first install WordPress, you'll also see this message that says Welcome to WordPress. Within this message box, there's a number of links, and each of these links represent some of the first things that most people do when they install their WordPress website. For the moment, though, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this message by clicking on Dismiss in the top right-hand corner here so that we can just see the dashboard without that message. So here we are on the dashboard. Let's take a look at what the website looks like right out of the box when we first install WordPress. So to see the site, I'm going to go up to the top left-hand side and click on Visit Site right underneath the name of the website. So right here where it says Visit Site, I'm going to click on that. And here we see this is what the website looks like now without doing anything. So it's pretty bare bones. This is the 2012 theme that comes with your WordPress installation, and we'll be making quite a bit of changes so that it will end up looking like this at the very end. So this is what we're headed toward, but for the moment our website looks like this. So let's go back to the dashboard and start building out this theme. To do that, you want to go to the top left-hand side, hover over the website name, and the first link is Dashboard. We want to click on Dashboard. And here we are on the dashboard of our WordPress website. So this is the first thing that we'll see when you log into your WordPress website. For the moment, the first step we want to take is we want to change the theme of the website. So to do that, on the left-hand side, the first step here is you want to click on Appearance. And here we're on the Manage Theme screen. So notice that the current theme is a 2012 theme. This is the theme that comes with your WordPress installation. So the next step we need to take is we need to install the new theme. Again, we're installing the Artificer free responsive e-commerce theme by WooThemes. So to install that theme, go ahead at the top here and where it says Install Themes, click on Install Themes. And then you'll note that by default we land on the search page. The page we need here is the upload link, so I'm going to click on Upload here. And here it says Install a theme in .zip format. So first we need to go get this theme from WooThemes, and then we can come back here in just a moment and we can upload the file. So I'm going to head on over to woothemes.com. Here I am on the WooThemes homepage. And you'll notice at the top there's a link here that says Themes. So I'm going to click on Themes. And then here you can do a search for this particular theme. So this is a free theme, so I'll check this box. It's also a responsive theme, and it's a WooCommerce e-commerce theme. So I'll check these three boxes, and then I'm going to click on Search to filter the results. So here you see the two different options that we have, the My Style theme and the Artificer theme. We'll be setting up the Artificer theme, so I'm going to click on this thumbnail right here for Artificer. And here we are on the Artificer theme information page. So you can read more about it if you'd like right here, but instead I am just going to click on this button here that says free download. Which brings us to another section here. I'm going to click on download once again. Actually, instead of clicking here, I can click this green button here that says free download. So I'm going to click on free download. And then you'll land on the login or register page. So I already have an account, so all I need to do is log in. But as it notes here, if you don't have an account, you can register for a free WooThemes account to get access to free themes and plugins. So go ahead and enter your username, email, and your password twice, and then click on the register button to register for a WooThemes free account. So I already have an account as mentioned, so I'm just going to log in to my account by clicking on login right here. And here I am on my account dashboard. So the next step is we need to download this theme. Most likely you will find the download link either in the Downloads tab here. I'm going to click on that. And okay, great. So yes, so the download is available on the Download tab, and we see it's the first one listed here, and there's all these other free themes that you can download as well. But we'll be looking at the Artificer theme in this video, so I'm just going to click on this link here that says Download Theme to download the free responsive Artificer WordPress theme. Once the theme has been downloaded, I always like to drag it to my desktop so it's easier to find. So I'm just going to grab this icon here and drag it over to my desktop and release it. And then once you have downloaded the theme file, then you want to go back to your WordPress website on the Install Theme screen here, and you want to click on Choose File to choose the .zip file. Okay, so I'm just going to select the file right here and click on Open, and then within WordPress I'm going to click on Install Now to install the new theme. Okay, so the theme has been installed successfully. The next step is we want to click on this middle link here that says Activate to activate this theme. Once the theme has been activated, you'll arrive on this screen right here, and you'll note there's a message at the top that says enhance your theme with WooDojo. So we do need to go get WooDojo to make this all work. So I'm going to click on this link here that says get WooDojo, which brings us back to the WooThemes website where you can download WooDojo for free. You can also read more about WooDojo if you like, but instead I'm just going to click on this link here that says download WooDojo for free. Once again, as we did before, once the file has been downloaded, I'm going to drag it to my desktop so it's a little bit easier to find. So I'm just going to drag it over here and release it. And then I'm going to go back to my WordPress website here, and I'm going to click on Plugins because WooDojo is a plugin. So on the left-hand sidebar where it says Plugins, I'm going to click on Plugins. And here at the top there's another link that says Add New. So I'm going to click on this Add New button right here. And just like we did with themes, with plugins, this time I'm going to click on this link here that says Upload to upload this plugin. So we need to install the plugin in a .zip format. So I'm going to click on Choose File. And then I'm going to select the WooDojo zip file right here and click on Open. And then I'm going to click on Install Now to install this WooDojo plugin. Okay, plugin has been installed successfully. Activate plugin. So you want to click on Activate plugin right here. And then, okay, the plugin has been activated. So we're not quite done with WooDojo. The next thing that we need to do, you'll notice that you have a new link on your left-hand sidebar within WordPress, and it's called WooDojo. So we want to click on this right here. So I'm going to click on WooDojo. And here on the WooDojo page, you'll note that there's a message that says WooDojo is a powerful toolkit of features to enhance your website. So there's all these different features that you can add to your site if you'd like, but the one that we need right now is called WooCommerce. So I'm going to scroll down to where it says WooCommerce right here. It says it's underneath WordPress plugins, and it says WooCommerce is a powerful e-commerce plugin that helps you sell anything beautifully. So I'm going to click on Download and Activate to download and activate the WooCommerce plugin. Once you download and activate WooCommerce, you'll also get a message at the top that says, Welcome to WooCommerce, you're almost ready to start selling. And you have a button here that says Install WooCommerce Pages. So I am going to click on this button, Install WooCommerce Pages. Okay, welcome to WooCommerce 2.0. So there's a button here that says Settings. I'm going to click on that right here to go to the WooCommerce settings screen. And on Pages right here, I'm going to click on Pages. And I just want to take a quick look at this page. And it looks like all the pages we see have been created, and they're all showing up here where they need to be showing up under the Shop Pages section. Also, we see the Shop base page right here is Shop. So all these pages have been set up, which is great. So now let's take a look at what the website looks like now. I'm going to go to the top left-hand corner underneath the website name, and where it says Visit Site, I'm going to click on Visit Site. Okay, so here we see the bare bones version of our website. So this is the Artificer responsive e-commerce website, and we just have a basic framework right here, but we see there's quite a bit of work to do. We need to add the menu navigation area, and I'm going to remove this particular menu. I prefer the more minimalist looking, cleaner one at the top. You can have two menu navigation areas though within this theme, and I'll show you how to set that up in this video. So I guess the first step is let's take care of adding our logo or adjusting our website name and tagline here, and then we'll move on to configuring the menu. So first I'm going to configure the logo and the website name by going up to Dashboard. And then right here where it says Artificer theme options, you want to click on Artificer. And here we are on the Woo Themes Artificer theme options screen. So the first thing I want to point out is that we're using Artificer version 1.3.1 as well as Woo Framework 5.5.5. So here we are on the theme options screen. We land by default on the general settings tab, and you can see here that the first thing we see is the theme style sheet. So this is where you can change the colors to match the branding or the look and feel that you want for your particular online store. So I'm going to be using the default theme style, but when you click on this, you'll notice that you get all these different colors to choose from for your website. So you can choose whichever one you want. I'm going to stay with the default in this video. And then the next setting that we can change is the custom logo. So I will be uploading a logo in just a moment, but I want to show you as well, if you do not want to have a logo on your website, you can use a text title and a tagline description instead. So just to show you what this looks like, you would go ahead and you would click these two. Once again, this is if you do not want a logo. You would click these two right here to activate the title and the description, and then you'd want to set up the title and the tagline in the general settings tab. So before I do that, I'm just going to click on Save All Changes to save the changes. Now note we haven't made any changes, but I always like to re-save things just to make sure that all the settings I'm looking at have been saved. So if you want to add a text title and a description, then after you click these two boxes here, you'd want to click on the General Settings link. So I'm going to click on General Settings. And here you'll see we arrive on the General Settings tab. So just keep a note that when you install WordPress, by default the tagline is just another WordPress website. And this is never a good tagline for anyone's online store. It's way too generic, of course. So at minimum, the least you want to do is you just want to delete this altogether. Now, if you want to have a tagline showing up on your homepage, then you would just add your tagline here. So I am not going to add any tagline though, so I'll just keep that blank. And then I'm going to leave the site title as it is, just the website name. Then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click on Save Changes to save my changes. So let's go back to the theme options screen because I actually want to add a logo to my website. So I'm going to go up to the Artificer once again. I'm going to click on that. And here we are on the general settings screen. So I'm going to click on Upload to upload a custom logo. Here we can add files from our computer or from our media library, but we haven't added any images yet, so there should be nothing in our media library. So I'm going to upload an image from the computer by clicking on this From Computer tab here, and then I'm going to click on Select Files to select the file. So here we see all my files. I'm going to click on the folder where the logo is. So I'll just click on that to open it. And here we see here is the logo file. So I'm going to highlight that and click on Open to open this file. And then you'll note that here is the image that has been uploaded, and it's always a good idea to add a title and an alternative text for your images. So I'm just going to add this as the website name right here. So I'll just add the website name. And then I'll just copy it for the alternative text. You can come back and you can fill all the other stuff out later if you like, but the main ones that we need here are the title and the alternative text. Then I'm going to come down and I want the full size version, so I'm going to choose full size, and then I'm going to click on Use this image. And okay, here is my logo. So the next thing is at the top, we just want to click on Save All Changes to save the changes. The other settings that I want to point out here on the general settings screen, when you scroll down, you can also add a favicon if you'd like. A favicon is the icon, the small image that shows up next to your domain name, your website name in a browser. So I'm not going to add a favicon, but you can read more about it by clicking on this ICO image link if you'd like. The other thing I do want to point out is tracking code. So it's always a good idea to use some kind of analytics to track the activity on your website. And Google Analytics is an awesome free service that you can use to track your website activity. So I definitely recommend heading on over to Google and Googling Google Analytics and setting up a free Google Analytics account. And then once you set that up, you can add the tracking code in this box and click on Save All Changes. So the last thing that we need to do here on the general settings screen is we need to set the logo to be displayed on the home page. Right now we see that text title and site description are checked. So right now the title and the description will be showing up on the home page. But as we see here, I've uploaded my logo. So instead, I would like the logo to be displayed. So what we need to do is uncheck these two boxes. And then we need to click on Save All Changes to save the changes. So now the website will be set up to display the logo. Let's go take a look at that by going to the top left-hand side and clicking on Visit Site. And here we see here our logo is now being displayed on the home page. So we see that we have quite a bit of work to do here. Let's start by taking a look at the menu. Right now you see this is the default menu that comes when you install WooCommerce. So let's add the top menu right up here at the top, and then we'll remove this menu altogether. Then we'll add some pages so we can start filling out the menu navigation items right at the top. To set up the menu, we need to go back to the left-hand side and click on Dashboard. Also note that we can go directly to the menus screen by clicking on Menus here. But I'm going to click on Dashboard right here. And then on the left-hand side, I'm going to hover over Appearance, and then I'm going to click on Menus. Here we are on the menu screen, and at the top we see there's a note here that says your theme supports 2 menus. Select which menu appears in each location. So what we need to do is we actually need to create the 2 menus right here, and then we need to select the location. So we're going to have 2 menus. The one is the one at the top, so I'm going to click on plus right here to create this new menu, and I'm going to call it Top Menu so I know which menu it is. So I'm going to call this one Top Menu and click on Create Menu. And then you see as well we have the other menu being displayed right here. So the second step is we need to actually set the location here. So the primary menu is the one that we just saw with all the default pages. So I am going to call that one Menu, just simply Menu. And the top menu I'm going to call Top Menu. So once I have set up the location of the 2 different menus, then I'm going to click on Save to save the locations. Now note that we don't really have any pages, so it's probably best to go ahead and set up the pages first, and then we'll come back to the menus right here. The first page that I want to set up is the About page. Most likely you'll want to also create an About page either about yourself or about your online business or the products and services that you're offering. So let's create an About page by going to the left-hand side, and then where it says Pages, you want to click on Pages. Here on the Pages screen, we can see all of the existing pages that we have on the website, and these are all the WooCommerce pages that we added when we installed the pages from WooCommerce. So to add a new page, you want to go to the top here and click on Add New. And then the first thing we want to do is give our new page a title. So I'll just call this About, and then I'm going to add some text here in this section right here. So I'm just going to paste in some text I had copied. There we go. And also note that we are in the Visual tab right here. There's 2 tabs, a Visual tab and a Text tab. The Visual tab is the what you see is what you get view, where you don't need to know any code. You can just simply add your text in here, and then when you want to format it, you can use all of these different icons in these 2 rows. If you are only seeing one row, if you are only seeing this row, for example, then what you need to do is click on this icon here. It's the 3rd one from the right, and when you hover over it, it says Show Hide Kitchen Sink. So when I click on this icon, then you'll get a 2nd row of formatting icons. So this is really similar to writing an email or creating some kind of document in a word processing program. You simply highlight whatever it is you want to format, and then you can click on these buttons here depending on what kind of formatting you want. So the other good news is that you don't have to memorize what all of these icons are. You can just hover over each one of them, and when you hover over them, you'll get a small yellow tooltip that tells you what the particular icon does. So we see the first one is a B and it's bold, and then when I hover over the I, it's italics, then you have your strike through, you have your unordered list, you have some links here, and so on. So you can kind of just check out all of these different icons and see what they do. I actually am not going to add any formatting to this right now, so I'm just going to undo this formatting by clicking on this button here, which is the Remove Formatting Eraser. So the next thing that I'd like to do is I would like to add an image, a picture right in front of this text. So what I want to do is place the cursor where I want the image to be displayed, and then I want to come up here and I want to click on Add Media. Here on the Insert Media screen, you see that now we're in the Media Library page, but actually what I want to do is I want to upload a file from my computer. So I'm going to click on Upload Files, then select Files, and then here I want to select the file that I want, so I'll choose this one, pick 2, and then I'll click on Open. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see all of the different details we can add for the image. So once again, it's always a good idea to include a title and alternative text. So I'll just add this to be the name of the website, and I'll add my alternative text right there. And then when we scroll down, you'll note that there's some alignment settings here. So I want this left aligned, so I'm going to click on this and click on left. You can also center this, right align it, or choose no alignment at all. I'm going to left align it though, so I'll click on left. And I'm not going to link this image to anything, so I'll leave it as none. And then for size, you can choose the full size if you'd like, but for me right now, I'd like to choose the medium size, 300 by 285, so I'll just click on that, and then I'm going to click on Insert into Page. Okay, so here we have the image with the text. On the right-hand side are the page attributes, and you can choose whether to make this a parent page or a child page. Parent pages are the top level page, so I want the About page to be the parent, so I'll just leave it as is. Right here it says no parent, and then where it says template, note that when I click on default template, I'll get all these different templates of different page layouts I can choose. So you have an archives page, a blog, contact form, full width, image gallery, sitemap, tags, and timeline. So I want the About page to be full width without a sidebar. I do not want a left or right hand sidebar on this page, so I'll just click on full width right there. And then I'm going to scroll down and okay, this looks good. The other thing to note here is this is a page and I don't want to have any discussion or comments on this particular page. I would prefer to keep my comments on my blog. So I'm going to disable the discussion by unchecking these two boxes here. Now note that if you do not see the discussion section showing up here, then what you need to do is scroll to the top and click on the Screen Options tab right here. And when you click on Screen Options, you'll get all of these different settings that you can choose for the different sections. So you want to make sure that discussion is checked right here so that you can see discussion down below at the bottom right here. Okay, so we have this set up and ready to go. The next thing I want to do is I just want to click on Publish to publish this page. Okay, so the page has been published, so we can view the page by clicking on View Page. And here we see here is the page, and it looks just how I wanted it to be. We might add a call to action down here later, but right now this looks good. Now let's add some more pages to our website, starting with a contact page. So this time I'm going to go up to the top, hover over plus new, and then in this drop-down box I'm going to click on Page to create a new page. And this one I'm going to call Contact because I want this to be my contact page. And again, on the right-hand side where it says Page Attributes, this time for the template, I want to choose the contact form. So I'll just click on that. And as we did with the About page, I'm going to disable discussion by unchecking these two right here. And then I'm going to come up to the top and click on Publish. Okay, so now we have the contact page published as well. Let's take a look at that by clicking on View Page. And here we see we have our contact page. Now note that if you are getting this error message here that says email has not been set up properly, please add your contact email. Then we need to set this up so that we no longer have this message, this error message. So let's do that now. I'm going to go up to the top and click on Dashboard. And then I'm going to click on the Artificer theme options. And then on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on Contact Page right here. Here on the Contact Page, I'm going to scroll down. You can add your telephone number, your fax number, and then note that it says Contact Form Email. Enter your email address to use on the contact form template. So that's something that we hadn't done. So I'm just going to add in my email right here. And then at the bottom, I'm going to click on Save All Changes to save the changes. Okay, so now let's go take a look at our page, our contact page. We want to click on Pages here. I'm going to click on Pages. And then when I scroll down and here is the contact page listed right here, I'm going to click on View to view the contact page. Now we see the error message has disappeared and the contact page is ready to go. So we have two more pages to add, the blog page and a portfolio page of images. So let's take care of the blog page right now by once again going to the top, hovering over plus new and clicking on Page. And then here on the Add New Page screen, I'm going to call this blog. Then I'm going to leave all of this empty here, blank, but on the right-hand side where it says Page Attributes, under the Template section, I'm going to click on Default Template here, and this time I'm going to choose the blog template. Then, as we did before, I'm going to scroll down and uncheck the discussion because I do not want any comments showing up on the blog index page. We will have comments, however, featured on the single blog post. So every blog post will have comments, but on the blog index page, I do not want to have any comments. So I just uncheck those like that. Then I'm going to scroll up and click on Publish to publish the blog page. Okay, so the blog page has been created. Now we don't have any blog posts yet, so this will most likely be pretty empty. I'm going to click on View Page just to take a look at it. And we see, okay, here's the blog index page, and we just have the default post right now that came with the WordPress installation. So we'll be deleting this post later down the line in this video, but we do need to add a few more new posts, and we'll do that as well in just a few moments. So the last page that we need to create is the portfolio page with a number of images. So I'm going to go up to the top once again and click on Page. And this time I'm going to call the page Portfolio. And over on the right-hand side, I'm going to click on Default Template. And this time I want a full width page. Now, there is an image gallery page right here, so you can check that out if you'd like. But I have a different way of adding images with a lightbox display to my portfolio page that I prefer. So I'm going to show you in this video how to do that way instead. So right now I'm just going to click on Full Width. And then once again scroll down and I'm going to uncheck the two boxes here in the discussion to disable comments on this page. And then I'll just click on Save Draft to save the draft. Then once the draft has been saved, the next step is we need to add a plugin for the Lightbox. So we'll come back to this page in just a moment, but let's go add the plugin. So I'm going to click on Plugins right here. And then at the top, I'm going to click on Add New to add a new plugin. And the plugin that I'm looking for is called Jetpack. So I'm going to do a search here by typing in Jetpack in the search field, and then I'll click on Search Plugins to search for the plugin. Here it is at the top, Jetpack by WordPress.com. You can check out the details by clicking on Details, or you can just install now. I'll check out the details. I'll click on Details right here. And here we can see that this particular plugin was last updated 25 days ago, which is really awesome. It's very fresh version of this plugin. And it's compatible up to 3.5.1, which is the version of WordPress we're using right now. And it's been downloaded over 5 million times with a 4 out of 5 star rating. So this is a really awesome plugin. I'm going to click on Install Now to install this plugin. Okay, successfully installed the Jetpack plugin. Now we need to activate the plugin by clicking on Activate Plugin. And then once the plugin has been activated, you'll see it here in your plugins list, and you'll also see it on the left-hand side where it says Jetpack. So I'm going to click on Jetpack right here on the left-hand side. And here on the Jetpack screen, you'll see there's a note that says to enable all of Jetpack's features, you'll need to connect your website to WordPress.com using the button on the right. So once we connect to WordPress.com, then we can start to use all of the different features. So I'm going to click on Connect to WordPress.com right here. And then you'll arrive on this page where it will ask you if you authorize Jetpack to connect with your website and with WordPress.com. So the good news is that you can set up a free account on WordPress.com if you don't already have a WordPress.com account. So if you need an account, go ahead and click on this link here that says Need an Account. Here on the WordPress.com site, all you have to do is add in your email address, username, and password, and then you can add a blog address, but since we're creating a website, most likely you do not need a blog address. So what you can do is come down to the bottom over here. There's a really small fine print one-liner sentence that says, if you don't want a blog, you can simply sign up for just a username. So I would recommend just to click on this link here, and then here you can sign up with just your email address, your username, and the password. So once you've filled in these three fields, go ahead and click on Sign Up to sign up for a free WordPress.com account. Once you've signed up for your free WordPress.com account, come back to this screen where Jetpack is asking you to authorize to connect it with the website and with WordPress.com, and add in your new WordPress.com username and password. So I'm going to add mine in right here, as well as my password. Once you've created your free WordPress.com account, come back to this screen where Jetpack is asking you to authorize connecting to your website and to WordPress.com. Then in the username and password fields, go ahead and add your new WordPress.com username and password and click on Authorize Jetpack to authorize Jetpack. Okay, you're fueled up and ready to go. The features below are now active. So we've connected to WordPress.com. So the next thing is we need to start activating some of these features. So there's three main features that I love in Jetpack. So the first one is, let's find it here. The first one is Jetpack Comment. So this is a new comment system that has integrated social media login options. So you can learn more by clicking the Learn More button, but I'm just going to activate it by clicking on Activate. Once the Jetpack comments are activated, the next one that I want to add are the super duper sharing tool features. So here there's a button here for sharing tools where you can share content with Facebook, Twitter, and many more. So I'll show you how to configure this in just a moment. You can click on Learn More to learn more about this. I'm just going to click on Configure right here. So here we are on the sharing settings screen, and the next step is we want to configure the sharing buttons that will show up below the blog post. So whenever you have a blog post, by adding these buttons to your post, anyone will be able to easily share your content on the social web via Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, or some other social network. So what we need to do is drag and drop the available services that you want into this box here. So I'm going to grab Facebook. I'm just going to drop it in. I'm going to add Google+ and drop that there. Maybe I'll add, let's see, Twitter and LinkedIn. I'll add those four. And then for the other ones, I'm going to add them in this More section over here. And you can see right below there's a live preview of what the buttons will look like on your website. So I'm just going to add this one into the More button, and then let's see, email, and then I'll do Reddit, and I'll do Tumblr. I'll add Tumblr also. So just drag that in here. So here you can see here is a live preview of what this will look like underneath your blog post. And when you click on More, you'll have a drop-down menu of a number of different other social networks. So over here you can choose the button style. I really like this uniform look, so I'm going to keep it like that. You can change the sharing label. I'll keep it as Share This. And then here you can note where you want these buttons to show up. So I prefer to just have the buttons underneath the post, so I'm going to just click on Post here. But if you'd like to have these buttons show on any of the other pages throughout the website, you can go ahead and click those ones that you want right here. Finally, when you're ready to go, click on Save Changes to save your changes. Okay, so the sharing settings have been saved. Let's go back to Jetpack because there's one other thing that we need to activate within the Jetpack toolkit. So I'm going to click on Jetpack right here. And the next thing that we want to add is the carousel, which will help us to display the light box when we have the images on the portfolio page. So I'm just going to scroll down and look for the carousel. It looks like it's over here on the left-hand side. And it says, transform your standard image galleries into an immersive full screen experience. So I'm going to click on Activate to activate the Jetpack carousel. Okay, so the carousel has been activated. Now let's go back to our portfolio page and set up the portfolio images on the portfolio page. So I'm going to click on Pages over here on the left-hand side. And then I'm going to scroll down and look for my draft portfolio page right here, and I'm going to hover on top of this, and I'm going to click on this edit link right here. And now I'm going to start adding the images to my portfolio page. So I'm just going to place the cursor where I want the images to be displayed, and then I'm going to click on Add Media to add the images. So here on the Insert Media screen, the next step is we need to come to the left-hand side here and click on Create Gallery to create a new gallery. Then here on the Create Gallery screen, we can either choose images from our media library or we can upload files. So I'm going to upload some files from the computer. So I'll click on Upload Files and then select Files. And then you want to find the files to upload and include in your gallery. So I'm going to click on my portfolio folder here, and I actually want to include all of these files. So you can select all the files that you want all at one time, and then you can come to the bottom and click on Open to open the images and upload the images to your gallery. Once all the images have been uploaded, you'll note at the bottom it'll tell you how many images have been selected. So I have 12 images here that have been added to my gallery. And then on the right-hand side, you have the image details. So once again, it's always a good idea to include a title and alternative text. So you can do that by just clicking on each of these images one at a time, and you can just add the title and the alternative text. So I'll just add that there. And then I can come to this one and do the same thing. Then once you have the title and alternative text added for each of your different images, go ahead at the bottom and click on the button that says Create a New Gallery. Okay, so here's our gallery, and as it notes, you can drag and drop to reorder the images. So if you want to move some images around or change the order, you can do so by just dragging them however you would like them to be displayed. Then on the right-hand side, note that there are the gallery settings, and the important one to note here is the columns setting right here. So I have it currently set at 3 columns, which is perfect because I have 12 images, so I'm going to have 4 rows of 3 columns each, so that sounds good to me. But depending on how many images you have, you may want to change the number of columns right here. So I'm going to keep it at 3, and then I'll click on Insert Gallery to insert this gallery. Okay, so here we are on the visual view of our edit page view, our edit page screen. And you'll note that here there's a thumbnail image of a placeholder of our gallery. Now when you click on the text view shows you the behind the scenes short code that WordPress is generating to produce the gallery. The good news is that you most likely never really need to come to the text screen here. This is where all of the HTML code will be displayed, or the short code will be displayed. And the good news is with WordPress, you really can get by without knowing any code by staying in the visual tab right here. So here I have my gallery. I'm going to go ahead and publish this by clicking on the Publish button right here on the right-hand side. Okay, so the page has been published. To view the page, I'm going to click on View Page. And here we see here all of my images are displaying really nicely all on my portfolio page. When I click on each thumbnail, I'm going to click on this one right here, you'll see this really cool light box pops up, and I can just now see a wider screen, a larger screen version of all the images in my gallery. Okay, now one thing to note is that in the event that your image sizes are not this particular dimension, perhaps you're showing maybe smaller image sizes right here, what you need to do is you need to reconfigure the media sizes of the thumbnail. So let's take a look at mine right now. I'm going to click on Dashboard, and then I'm going to scroll down to Settings, and I'm going to click on Media. So here we see that my media settings have the thumbnail size of 300 by 300. If yours says 150 by 150, then in order to get those images displaying really in a more large dimension on the portfolio page, then I would recommend changing your thumbnail size to 300 width by 300 height, and then you want to click on Save Changes to save the changes. The next thing that you'll need to do to make sure that this works is you're going to have to regenerate your thumbnails. So I'm going to go to this plugins over here and click on plugins. And here on the plugins page, we want to add a new plugin called Regenerate Thumbnails. So I'm going to click on Add New, and then I'm going to search for this plugin, Regenerate Thumbnails, and click on Search. And it's the first one that pops up here. You can read more about it by clicking on Details, or you can just click on Install Now. So I'll just click on Install Now. Yes, I do want to install this, okay. Okay, and once the plugin Regenerate Thumbnails has been installed, go ahead and click on Activate to activate the plugin. Finally, the last step to make sure that the thumbnails are the right dimension that you would like, you need to go up to your media page right here by clicking on Media. And here in the media library, you want to select all the images that you want to regenerate the thumbnails for. So I'm just going to choose all of these except for these three. I don't need to regenerate those. And actually, as you saw, my images are looking really good, so I don't need to actually do this, but just for the demo purpose to show you how this is done, I'm going to regenerate them anyway. So once you click all of the images you want to regenerate the thumbnails for, then you can click on Bulk Actions here. When you click on that, you'll see there's another item here that says Regenerate Thumbnails. So go ahead and click on Regenerate Thumbnails, and then you want to click on the Apply button to apply the new size. Okay, all done. 12 images were successfully resized, and there were 0 failures, so that's good news. So now when we go to the page, the portfolio page, by clicking on Pages, and then when I scroll down to Portfolio, now when you look at your images by clicking on View to view the portfolio page, you should see your images now looking like this with this dimension. Okay, so we've created all the pages. Let's go ahead and start adding them to our menu bar up here. So I'm going to go to the menu page by hovering over the website name, and then I'm going to go directly to the menus by clicking on Menus right here. And here we are on the menu screen. So note before I mentioned that I really just want to have that top menu. I'm not going to touch the middle menu here, which is referred to as the primary menu, but I prefer just keeping everything really minimalist. So in this website for this video, I'm just going to feature one top menu. Of course, feel free to add other menu items to the primary menu as well if you'd like. I'm going to add my items to my top menu by first clicking on Top Menu over here. And here we need to start dragging or adding the items we want to be displayed in the menu. We need to add them right here. So I am going to come to my pages right here, and I'm going to click on all the pages that I want to feature in the menu. So I want the portfolio, the blog, the contact page, the about page, and I also want the shop page, and finally I want the cart page. So all those pages I want to feature in the menu, and then I'm going to click on this button here that says Add to Menu. Then what you can do is you can reorder these by simply dragging them wherever you want them to show up. So I think I want the shop page to be first, and then I'll have the portfolio page, I'll have the blog last over here, I'll add the cart right at the top. So I'm just reordering these how I want them to be displayed. And then over here, I also want to add a home button so anyone can easily click on home to go back to the home page. So I'm just going to add a custom link here. The label will be home, and here's the URL, my website URL. And then I'm going to click on Add to Menu to add this particular link to the menu, and I'll drag that one to the top so it shows up first. When your menu is all ready to go the way you'd like, come to the bottom or to the top and click on Save Menu. Okay, the top menu has been updated, so let's take a look at it now. I'm going to go to the top and click on Visit Site. And now we see here all of the menu items are showing up where I want them to show up on the top menu. So we also have to add some products because our website, it's looking okay, but we've got a couple more things to do. So let's add our featured products right here by adding some products to our website. So I'm going to go up to the top and click on Dashboard. And then on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on the products page right here by clicking on products. And here on the product screen, the next step is we need to add a product. So up at the top, there's this button, add product. So I'm going to click on that. And here on our add new product screen, we can start by adding the name of the product. So I'm going to be adding a yoga mat here. So I'll just call this premium yoga mat. And then in this section here, you can add some text, a description perhaps about your product. So I'll just add some content in there. Then on the right-hand side, we need to give this a product category. So to do that, I'm going to click on Add New Product Category, and I'll just call this Yoga. And then I'm going to click on this link here that says Add New Product Category. Okay, so we have our product category. You can also give a product tag if you'd like. So I'll just call this Yoga Mat. And also note that if you have two words, you want to separate your tags with commas. So I would, for example, if I had another yoga mat, I would just say yoga mat right here. And you see that I'm separating the tags with commas. If you have words, then you, once again, as well, you just want to separate the words with a comma. So, okay, I'm just going to call this yoga mat, just one tag, and I'll click on add. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to give it a featured image. So I'm going to click on Set Featured Image, and then I'll click on Upload Files, and then Select Files. And then you want to select the file that you want to be featured as a featured image, and then I'm going to click on Open. Once again, when the image has been uploaded, you want to give your product image a title and an alternative text. So I'll just call this Yoga Mat right here. And I'll do the same for the alternative text. And then you want to click on Set Featured Image to set the image. Okay, so once we have that all set, the next part is we need to come down to the product data section. And this is where you'll add any attributes, the prices, and any variations related to your product. So for example, the first product I want to add will be just a simple product. So I'll just leave it right here. You can see when I click on simple product, you have other product types that you can choose: grouped product, external affiliate product, and variable product. So for the first product, I'll just keep it as simple product. And if you'd like to give this product a SKU, you can do that. Also note that throughout the product data section, and actually throughout WooCommerce, when you see these question marks, when you hover on top of it, you'll get a really cool tooltip that will tell you exactly what this particular field does. So we see here it says SKU refers to a stock keeping unit, a unique identifier for each distinct product and service that can be purchased. So I'm not going to deal with SKUs right now. However, I would like to give this a price. So I'll just put in a price right here, 40, just 40. Note that it says pounds. We'll change that in a moment to dollars. And if you'd like, you can also give this a sale price. So if I wanted to do that, I would just add the sale price here. Say I'm going to make this $30 on sale. And then you want to click on Schedule to indicate how long the sale lasts. So I'm just going to click on this calendar here. And then you can choose when it starts and stops. So I'll choose May 25th as the start date, and the end date will be, let's see, I'll just make it through the 28th. Okay, so now we have our sale price dates. The next step is we want to add some attributes. So I'm going to click on Attributes right here. And then you want to click on Add to add a new attribute. And I'm going to give this an attribute of color, so we'll have different colors here. So I'm going to offer it in orange and in gray, for example, as well as in red. Okay, so also note that when you have different values for your attribute, you want to separate them with this pipe symbol. And you can find the pipe symbol just above the return key on the right-hand side of your keyboard. And when you click on Shift, and then you want to click on the vertical line just above the Enter key or the return key on the right-hand side of your keyboard. So once you have the attribute name and values here, also we want to go ahead and we need to check the Visible on the Product Page box. So I'm going to check on that. And then you want to click on Save Attributes to save the attributes. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, let's just scroll down here, and we can also add a product short description. So I'm going to grab the first sentence here of my text just as demo content here. So I'll just grab that, and I'm going to add a short product description by just putting the text right in here. The other thing I want to point out is just below the short product description, there's a section for the Artificer custom settings, and you'll see there's a number of different layouts that you can choose for this particular product. So you see this is the full width particular layout. Then you can add a right sidebar or a left sidebar. So since this is a product page, on my product pages I prefer to have simply the product because I don't want to have anything distracting a potential customer from checking out my product. So I usually don't like having any sidebars on my product page. So I'm going to click on this one right here to make sure the layout is full width, and then I'm going to scroll to the top and I'm going to click on Publish to publish this product. Once your product has been published, the next step is to add more products to your product catalog. So we just added this simple product, this yoga mat simple product, to our product catalog. Let's add a variable product next. So I'm going to click on Add Product once again, and this time I'm going to be adding some t-shirts to the product catalog. So as we did before, the first thing is we need to give our new product a product name. So I'll call this Yoga Slim Fit Tee. And then you want to give a description here by entering some text, so I'll just add some text in there. Then on the right hand side you can give this new product a product category, so I'll call this yoga. It's a yoga t-shirt, so I will add it to the yoga product category. And then scrolling down, because this is a t-shirt, I'm going to give it a new product tag of t-shirt and then click add right here. Then here we see once again, here is the featured image. So I'm going to click on Set Featured Image, and then I'm going to click on Upload to upload a new file, and then I'm going to click on Select Files. And here we see, here's the image that I want to add for this product, the Yoga Pose Tee. So I'm going to highlight the image and then click on Open. And once the image has been uploaded to your WordPress website, you want to give the image a title and an alternative text. So I'll just add Yoga Slim Fit Tee in both sections here. And once you have the title and the alternative text added, go ahead and click on Set Featured Image. Okay, so there we go. Here's the image. The next step is we need to look at the product data information and set the product data. So in the previous example, we had added a simple product, but when I click on this, you'll notice that there's a number of other different product types. We have the group product, external affiliate product, or a variable product. For this example, let's create a variable product. So I'm going to click on variable product, and then you'll note that here you can start to add SKUs as well. Also note that once again, here's this question mark, which when you hover over the question mark, you'll get a cool tooltip that will tell you exactly what this field does. So here it says SKU refers to a stock keeping unit, a unique identifier for each distinct product and service that can be purchased. So if you'd like to manage your products with SKUs, you can enter the SKU right here. Also note there's a number of other different settings here. There's inventory. Let me click on that. So here, if you want to manage stock, or if you want to allow back orders or sell products individually, you can set the settings right here for those things. I'm not going to touch these. I'm just going to offer a pretty simple variable product, so I'm not going to configure anything here, but I just wanted to let you know this is here if you're interested. Next is shipping, and we'll go over shipping a little bit later in this video, but I just want to call attention as well that here's some more shipping information that you can set for this product if you'd like. Next, we have linked products. Here you can indicate if you want to upsell or cross-sell products to or with this particular product here for this product page. And again, when you hover over the question mark, there's a tooltip that will tell you what this is. So it says upsells or products which you recommend instead of the currently viewed product. For example, products that are more profitable or better quality or more expensive. So we'll see a little bit more about these linked products in a moment. We need to add quite a few more products to our catalog to demonstrate what the related products are and to show the products that we can use for upsells and cross-sells. Okay, the one that I want to point out here though for the variable product are the attributes. So I'm going to click on attributes, and here on the attributes screen I'm going to click on add, and once again the first attribute I'm going to give this t-shirt is a color, so I'll just put in color here, and then I'll add the values separated by that pipe symbol. So I'll give this in navy and white and maybe gray. And then you want to click on this button here that says visible on the product page and used for variations. Then you want to click on Save Attributes to save the attributes. The next thing is I'd also like to add some sizes, so I'm going to click on Add right here once again, and I'll give a new attribute name of size, and then the values I'll add will be small, medium, and large, so I'll just add that here. Again, noting that I'm separating these values with that vertical line, the pipe symbol, which once again you can find by holding onto your Shift key and clicking on the key right above your Return or Enter key on the right-hand side of your keyboard. Okay, so once you have the attribute and the values entered, go ahead and click on Visible on Product Page and Used on Variations, and then click on Save Attributes. Okay, the next step we need to complete all the product data here is we need to click on Variations right here. So I'm going to click on Variations, and the first thing we want to do is we want to set a default color and size. It's really important to make sure you set a default, because if you don't set a default, then you will not have a call to action add to cart button on your product page. So whenever you come to this variation settings here when you're using a variable product, make sure that you first set the default selection. So I'll choose navy as a default color and small as a default size, and then I want to start adding my variations by clicking on Add Variation. Okay, and the first one we want is I'm going to click in this any color here, and I'll choose navy, and then I'll choose the size of small, and then we need to give this a price, so I'll just say this is going to be $40. Again, it's in pounds. We'll change the pounds to dollars in just a moment. So I have my color, my size, and my price. Then you want to just scroll down, and you want to do that once again here. I'll add it navy in a medium, and I'll also give it a price. So for every value and every attribute, you need to set the price. So here we have navy and medium for 40, and then I'll click on the Add Variation button. And here I'll do navy in a large, once again for 40, and then scroll down and click on Add Variation. So I'm sure we're getting the hang of this. Now I'm going to move on to the white color, and I'll make that a small, again for the same price, 40. Scrolling down, clicking on Add Variation, clicking on white in medium this time. I have a few more times I have to do this. 40, and then Add Variation once again. Last one for the white, white in large for 40. And then finally, the last color is the gray. So I'll click on any color, then I'll click on gray in a size small, and I'll set the price of 40. I have 2 more times to go. Add variation, any color, I'll make it gray, any size, this time it's a medium, the price is 40. And finally, add a variation, the last one, I'm going to make this gray, any size is large, and the price is 40. So once you have all of those settings set for the product variations right there, then I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to grab the first sentence right here because I want to give this product a short product description. So I just highlight the first sentence here, and I'm going to use that for my product description. So I'll just scroll down to where it says product short description, and I'll just paste that first sentence right in this box. Finally, as we did before, I want to make sure that the layout of this product page does not have a sidebar. I like to have the focus of attention on the product, and I don't want any distractions with sidebars. So I'm going to click this full width layout box right here, and then I'm going to scroll to the top, and I'm going to click on Publish to publish this product. Okay, so the product was published. Let's view the product by clicking on View Product. And here we are on the product page. Now note that my call to action, add to cart button is not showing up, and actually I'm glad for the video it's not showing up because perhaps this may happen to you as well. So we need to fix that. We need to make sure there's always a call to action here on the product page. So to fix this and make sure there is an add to cart button, let's edit this product really quick by going up to the top, clicking on Edit Product. And then I'm going to scroll down here. Let's see what's going on. So we have our variable product. I'm going to click on Attributes. and I'm going to click on each of these just to make sure everything is set. So the attributes are visible on the product page and they are used for variations. And same with size, it is visible on the product page and used for variations. So let's click on variations. So looking at the product variations, I'm just going to scroll down here, and we do have the default selection selected here, navy in small. However, it looks like somehow that setting did not catch right above. So let me click on this caret here to open this up a little bit. And it looks like we have all the colors in all the sizes, navy and medium and large, white and small, medium and large, gray and small, medium and large, but we see the default selection here is navy and small, and for some reason when I set that, it didn't really catch. So let's redo that. Right here where it says any color, I'm going to click on that and click on navy. Then I'll click on small and of course give it a price. And now let's see, now it looks like there it is. I'm going to collapse this menu. So here we have, now we have the navy and the small. So it looks like that just wasn't set previously, but now that it is, let's go to the top here and click on update to update this product. Okay, so now that the product has been updated, let's check it out by clicking on view product. Okay, and now we see there is an add to cart call to action on the product page. So you want to make sure there's always an add to cart call to action on your product page. And if there isn't, then you want to go check out the product data and make sure that your attributes and variations are set up correctly. So okay, so here we are on the product page. We have our thumbnail image, the title, the price, a short product description, and then we see when I click on navy, it comes in all these different colors. And when I click on small, it comes in these different sizes. And then down below you have your longer product description. And when I click on additional information, you have the different attributes and values for the different attributes and variations right here. If you want to have a review, or if you do have reviews for this product, those will be listed right here in the review section. And now we can begin to see that the related products are beginning to show up below our product page. So as we add more products to the product catalog, we'll start to see more related products showing up right here. So let's add another product to the product catalog. Once again, I'm going to go to the top, hover over plus new, and click on product. And here on the new product page, once again, we want to begin by giving this product a product name. So this time I'm going to be adding an ebook to my product catalog. So I'm going to call this ebook Yoga for Beginners, and then I'm going to add my product description right here. Then on the product category, I'll call it yoga, and I'm also going to give it the category of ebook. So I'm going to click on add new product category and add ebook right here, and then I'll click on add new product category once again. And then I'm going to scroll down, and right here where it says product tags, I will add ebook as well as yoga. And then I'll click on add to add these two product tags. Next we need to add the featured image, so I'm going to scroll down and set the featured image by clicking on set featured image. And I'm going to upload this file from my computer, so I'm going to click on upload files and then select files. And here's the image that I want at the top called ebook. So I'm going to select that and then click on open. And once the image has been added to my media library here, I'm going to give it a title and an alternative text. Once the title and alternative text are added, then I'll click on set featured image to set the featured image. Okay, so we have the image. The next step is we need to come over here to product data, and once again we need to select the product type. So this time when I click on this, you'll note that we've already gone over simple products and variable products, but this is going to be a downloadable ebook. So this time right here on the right hand side, and also note that when I hover over this checkbox, it says downloadable products give access to a file upon purchase. So that's perfect for my ebook. So I'm going to click on downloadable right here, and when I do that, you'll note that there's a number of different settings specifically for downloadable products. So once again, you can give this a SKU if you'd like. I'm not going to do that. The regular price, this is going to be a free ebook, so I'll just put 0 there for the price. Of course, set any price that you would like for your ebook. And then we need to choose the file where this path is located. So first I need to upload the ebook to my website. So I'm going to save all my settings and we'll come back to this in just a moment. So I'm going to come up here to the top and just click on Save Draft to save the draft. Once we've saved a draft of the product, then I'm just going to come down here to product data one more time, and here where it says File Paths, 1 per line, choose a file. I'm going to click on this button, Choose a File, to upload my file. So here we are. We can either choose a file from the media library, but I haven't uploaded it yet, or we can upload a file. So I'm going to click on Upload Files and then select Files. And this time here in my folder, here is the ebook right here. So it's a PDF, Yoga for Beginners ebook right here. So I'm just going to highlight it and then click on Open to open this particular file. Okay, so once it has been uploaded, then again we need to add the title. So I'll just keep it as Yoga for Beginners and I'll get rid of these dashes here. You can also give it a caption and a description if you like, but I'm going to leave those blank, and then I'm going to click on this button here that says Insert File URL. Okay, so the URL for this particular downloadable ebook has been added right here. If you'd like to limit the re-downloads, you can indicate here what you would like to do. I'll just leave it as unlimited, so I'll just delete that. You can also put an expiration date on the download, enter the number of days before a download link expires, or leave blank. So I'll just leave that blank. I don't have any attributes for this particular downloadable product, so I'll just leave it as it is right here. And then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to add a short product description. So I just need to add some text in that short product description area. So I'll just copy this and I'll just paste the first sentence here. And then the last step is, once again, as we did before, I want to create a full width layout, so I'll click on this box here for the full width layout. Then I'm just going to come up to the top and click on Publish to publish the new ebook to my product catalog. Okay, so once the ebook has been published, let's take a look at it by clicking on View Product. So here we see, here is the product thumbnail, and when I click on it, I'll get a larger display, or at least a light box display of the image of this product. Then we see here is the product title. We see that it's free, so it'll just say free. Of course, if you wanted to have a price, you would have a price here. Then I have my short product description, my call to action, add to cart button, and then the categories and tags where this particular product has been grouped into. Then scrolling down, we have my larger product description, and if there are any reviews, those will show up right here by clicking on Reviews. They'll show up right here. So that is how you would add an ebook to your online store and your product catalog. So let's take a look at the home page and see what we need to configure on the home page. So I'm going to go to the top and click on Home, and here we are on the home page. So we have our menu navigation set and our logo. However, we note that all of our featured products are not showing up, and we also have to add some content here in this description box. So let's take care of adding the featured products right here on the home page. To do that, you want to go to the dashboard by clicking on Dashboard, and then you want to click on Products right here. So I'm going to click on Products, and then we need to select which products we want to feature on the home page. So for example, I want to feature the premium yoga mat, so I'm going to click on Quick Edit. And then I'm going to scroll down, and there's a box here that says Featured. So I'm going to click on Featured and click on Update. Then I want to feature all of the t-shirts as well. So I'm going to click once again on this one, the Yoga Slim Fit tee, click on Quick Edit. Scroll down, I'm going to click on Featured and click on Update. And 2 more to go. I need to click on the Om Yoga tee by clicking on Quick Edit. Once again, click on Featured, click on Update. We're getting the hang of this. And the last one is the Yoga Hands tee. I'm going to click on Quick Edit and then click on Featured and click on Update. So I've just designated or selected these 4 products to be featured on the home page. Let's take a look at that now. So I'm going to go to the top, click on Visit Site. And here we go. Now my products are showing up on the home page. So the next step is, let's add some content right here in this description box right here. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard by clicking on Dashboard. And here on the Artificer theme options screen, we have on the left-hand side, there's a link that says homepage options. So I'm going to click on homepage options, and then I'll have this drop down menu of a number of additional items that pop up, and the first one is stand first. So this is the homepage heading that we need to change, and right here you can see it says hello and welcome to our awesome store. That's the default heading description, but I'm going to change that here and I'm going to add my own description. Welcome, we provide high quality yoga and surfwear for yogis and surfers worldwide. Thanks for visiting. So you can add whatever description you want about your site in this box. And I'm also going to add a call to action. So I'm going to create some HTML here just to create a paragraph break. So this is the little code that you may need if you also want to create a call to action button. So we see that I just have a caret here and a P and then a closing caret right there, and then I'm going to add a buy now or shop now button on this description. So to do that, I'm just going to add href equals and then shop to go to my shop page, and then I'm going to give this a class of button, and then I'm going to close it out, and then I'm going to put shop now with a closing bracket. So I'll add this code clearly on the video so that you can just copy it and add it to yours as well if you'd like to add a call to action on your home page. But once again, I just have this opening paragraph tag right here. Then I have my button code right here. And then I'm going to close the paragraph by adding a closing paragraph right there. So it's bracket A space href equals quotation shop quotation, and then there's a space, class equals quotation button quotation, and then there's a closing bracket, shop now, and then I close this link tag with my link tag right here, this ahref, I close it right there. So once again, I'll add this code to the video, so no worries if you can't read it very well. Right here, I'll make it larger on the video. So, okay, there we go. So I'm going to click on Save All Changes to save the changes. And now let's take a look at the home page. So I'm going to go up to the top and click on Visit Site. And here on the home page, now we can see here's the description showing up right here. Now there's a few things that I want to change. Number one, this title here is kind of repetitive, so I want to remove this title altogether. Number two, the font size of my description is really small, so I want to increase the font size. And finally, number three, it looks like this call to action shop now button is a little bit too close to the text, so I want to create some space between the text and the call to action. So the first thing that's quickest and easiest to do is moving the shop now call to button down a little bit. So let's take care of that first. I'm going to go up to the dashboard, click on dashboard. Then on the left hand side, I'm going to click on the Artificer WooThemes theme options screen link. And here, once again, I'm going to click on Home Options, Homepage Options, to go to the description that we just added in the previous step. So here we see that here's the paragraph break, but I need to add another paragraph break to create some space. So I'm going to place the cursor right underneath the text and add another paragraph opening tag and closing tag. So I just added these right one line after the other. There's a bracket, a P, and a bracket, and then a bracket, a forward slash, a P, and a bracket. And no worries if you can't see this, I will add this to the video so you can see this more clearly. Once you've added the extra paragraph break HTML in here, go ahead and click on Save All Changes to save your changes. Okay, options have been updated. Let's take a look now. So I'm going to go to the top, click on Visit Site. And now we see that the call to action is a little bit lower and there's some space between the text and the button, which is exactly what I want. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to remove this website title right here. To do that, we're going to actually need to remove some HTML. So I'm going to go up to the dashboard and click on Dashboard. And this time I'm going to hover over Appearance and I'm going to click on Editor down below. So this is a screen where you can see all of the behind the scenes HTML that is being used to create the WordPress website. So whenever you come to this screen, you want to be really careful and just make sure you really know what you're doing, because if you accidentally remove some HTML, it could potentially break your site or change the page around. So you just have to really be careful when you're going into these files here. So the one that I want for the home page is called the main index template. It's index.php. So I'm going to click on this link right here. And now we see in the larger window, here is the main index template, the index.php. So in order to remove that title just above the description on the home page, and also keep in mind, if you want to keep the title there, then you can just ignore what I'm doing right now. But if, like me, you do want to remove that, then this is how you would do it. So there's a div class tag right here that says div class equals home-intro, and just below it there's another HTML code that starts with h1 class equals stand first, and then it says PHP blog info name, and then there's a closing h1 tag. So I'm going to highlight this entire code right here. So I'm highlighting the h1, the opening bracket, everything in between it, and then the closing h1 bracket, this whole thing. And then I'm going to delete it. Once again, if you do not want to remove the title, then just skip what I'm doing right now. So I just highlighted this code. I'm going to delete it, and then I'm going to come to the bottom here and click on Update File to update the file. Now when we go to the top by clicking on Visit Site, now we see that the title is no longer there, so that's great. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to increase the size of the font to make this a little bit larger, and one way that I do that is we need to change the CSS. So how do you find the CSS? Well, I am in a Google Chrome browser. I'm using Google Chrome, and within Google Chrome there's a developer tool called Inspect Elements. And when I go up to the right-hand side within Google Chrome, there are these 3 lines right here. And when I hover over them, it says Customize and Control Google Chrome. So I'm actually going to reduce the size of this window so you can see this a little bit better. So these are the 3 lines I'm referring to. When I click on these 3 lines, then I get a drop-down box. And when I scroll down to Tools and I hover over Tools, I get another drop-down box. And then here you see there's something that says Developer Tools. So I am going to click on Developer Tools right here. And this is all the HTML that is powering this particular homepage of the website right here on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, these are all the CSS styles that are used to create all the styles of the website. So things like colors and background colors, font sizes, dashes, borders, all of that is here on the right-hand side. And then the actual structure of how the website is set up is the HTML on the left-hand side. So what we need to do now is we need to find the code, the CSS code that is creating this smaller font size right here. So to find that code, you can see here on the left-hand side, you can click on these little markers here. And when I click on this one for wrapper, you'll see that I get another drop-down list. And now when I hover over each one of these, you'll see on the left-hand side it's being selected. So here's the top, and we can see that is being highlighted on the left-hand side. And then here's the header, and then here's the actual content. So we can see that the section that I want right here, this paragraph, this description paragraph, is selected when I hover over the content code right here in Inspect Elements. There's also another marker that when I click on this marker, you'll see that I get another drop-down box of other types of code. So this is the one that when I hover over div class home-intro, you see that the description on the left-hand side is highlighted. And then there's another marker here, so I'm going to click on that, and then the first code here is stand-first. So there's a lot of ways to find this code, but right now we see that when I hover over that stand-first, my description on the left-hand side is being selected. I'm going to click on this marker one more time, and there you go. Here is the actual description where it says, welcome, we provide high-quality yoga and surfwear, and so on. So what we need to do is highlight this div class equals stand first, and on the right-hand side where the styles are, we see here is the code for the CSS styles. Namely, it is this one right here that says .home-intro .stand-first. So when I click on computed style at the top, here we see when I scroll down, here's all the CSS styles, and the font size right now is currently 14 pixels. We can see that right here. It's 14 pixels. So I need to increase the font size to something larger than 14 pixels. To do that, I'm going to first copy this CSS code, and no worries if you can't read this, I'll add this to the video so you can see it more clearly, but I'm going to grab this, the .home-intro .stand-first code. I'm going to grab that, copy it, and then back on my website I'm going to go to Dashboard by clicking on Dashboard, and I can also just close the developer tool, and I'm going to widen my screen once again so it's easier to read. Then I want to click on the Artificier theme options, and here just under general settings there's another link that says display options. So I'm going to click on display options, and here the first box at the top says custom CSS, and on the right hand side it says quickly add some CSS to your theme by adding it to this block. So I'm going to paste the CSS code I just copied in the previous step, so I'll paste it right there. And then I'm going to add my font size, which is font-size with a colon, and this time I'm going to make it 14, actually I'm going to make it 20 pixels instead of 14 pixels, so I just add 20px with a semicolon. And then on the next line I'm going to close this close this code by adding a closing kind of like tilde bracket. So once again I'll add this to the video in case you cannot see this very well. So no worries if you can't see this, I'll add this in the video. Okay, so once you have the new size here, go ahead and click on Save All Changes to save the changes. Once the custom CSS has been saved, the next step is let's take a look at the website to see what the font size looks like now. So I'm going to go up to the top left, click on Visit Site, and here we see that the description is a lot larger and it's a lot easier to read. Note, however, that now we have this giant, well not really giant, but it's a rather large space here that pushes everything down. So the last thing that I want to do is I want to move everything in this section right here in the middle up just a little bit. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before. I'll reduce the size of this window so you can see my inspect element. I'm going to come up to the top and click on these three lines to open up the toolbar. Let's see, so I click on these three lines and I'm going to hover over tools, and then I'm going to click on developer tools right here to open up the inspect elements screen. Then what I need to do is I need to find where this space is located in my code. So here we see, here is the wrapper, and when I click on this marker here, then I have the top navigation, then here's the header, and here we can see there's some green space here, the green space in between the darker space. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's some green space here, and when I click on header, this is the content that this is the style that I want to change. So I'm going to click on this marker here next to header. Then I'm just going to look at each element within the header section. So there's the logo, and then I have my checkout button, my basket button. Then let's see, when I click on this here, this is the section that I want to reduce. So I'm going to click on nav ID equals navigation, and here on the right hand side, this is what I need to change. So you can actually edit it within this window just to experiment and test it and see what happens. It will not be saved yet, but you can just try things out on the right hand side and experiment and see what happens when you change the code. So for example, here is the pound navigation, and there's a space and an opening tilde bracket, and then it says margin dash bottom is 2.618 EM. So I'm going to actually click in here and I'm going to change this to 0 just to see what that looks like. So we see that when I click on 0 there, now everything moves up just a little bit. So that looks a lot better when it's raised like that without the large space. So I think that's the CSS code that I'm going to use. And so what I need to do is copy this part, this pound navigation. So I'm going to highlight it and copy it. And also keeping in mind that what we need to edit is margin dash bottom. So okay, I copied pound navigation and the opening bracket. Then I'm just going to close this. And now here, I'm going to go back to my dashboard in WordPress by clicking on the dashboard link. And then I'm going to click on the WooThemes Artificer theme options. And then once again, I'm going to click on display options to go to the custom CSS box. So here, right underneath the first CSS that we added, I'm going to paste the navigation CSS code right there. And then on the next line, I'm going to add margin-bottom, and this time with a colon, and then I'll put 0 EM with a semicolon, and then on the next line, I'm going to close it out with a closing bracket. So I will also add this in the video if you can't see this, so no worries if you can't see this. I'll add this so you can see it more clearly in the video. Okay, so once we have all of the new navigation margin bottom added, I'll just widen my screen here a little bit. Then I'm going to click on Save All Changes to save the changes. Once the options have been updated, go to Visit the Site by clicking on Visit Site. And here we go. Now this looks so much better. There's not as much space anymore. This is just how I want it. So okay, so now it's looking really good. Now the next thing is when we scroll down here, you'll note that we need to add a blog post, and also note that the size of my font is kind of falling off the screen a little bit. So to reduce the font size of these two items here in the sidebar, we once again need to open up Inspect Elements, find the CSS style code, and then we need to reduce the font size. So once again, I'm going to reduce the window here so it's a little bit easier for you to see it. And then at the top, I'm going to click on these 3 lines right here. Then I'm going to hover over Tools, and then here where it says Developer Tools, I'm going to click on Developer Tools to open up Inspect Elements. Then I need to find where this particular section is located in the HTML. So here where it says wrapper, we can see that now the content is selected, but I need to drill down a little bit more to specifically find this particular wrapper, this part of the wrapper right here. So I'm going to click on this marker here on the wrapper, and then I'm going to go down to Content. Then I'll click on the marker here, and then I'm going to scroll down to where it says Aside equals Sidebar, and once again click on this marker. And then as I scroll down, here it says UL class equals Store Info. And when I click on that marker, we can see down below there's something that says LI class equals email. So I'm going to click on that, and one last time I'm going to click on this marker. Then we see here it says div class inner, and when I click on that, here we see here is the content, the actual link that I need to reduce. It starts with href. So when I scroll up to the computed styles, here's all the CSS styles on the right hand side. When I click on that and I scroll down, you can see that the font size right here, it says font size is 23. So that's a little bit large. That's why it's falling off the sidebar here. So I need to reduce the font size from 23 to something smaller. So to do that, I need to grab the CSS code that is specifically referring to this particular style, and we see here that it's this part right here. So I am going to highlight all of this. You can also highlight all of the other ones as well. You can see that they're not, there's the .home #sidebar and .email.inner A. That's the one that is actually selected right here. But you'll note that there's some lighter versions here, which also, if you'd like, you can also apply the same style to those as well. So because they're all in the same group, I think I'm going to just experiment now and see what it looks like when I copy all of these. So I'm going to highlight all of those different elements here, and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go back to my window here by clicking on Dashboard. And then I'm going to click on Artificer Theme Options for WooThemes. And then I'm going to click on Display Options one more time. And here in my custom CSS box, I'm going to paste the code that I just copied in the previous step. Then I'm going to add a new font size, font-size. And instead of 23, this time I think I'll make it 18 pixels and see how that looks. And then I'll close it out with a bracket. And again, no worries, I'll add this code to the video so that you can see it more clearly. And then at the top here, I'm going to click on Save All Changes to save the changes. Once the options have been updated, I'm going to go back to the home page to see what it looks like by clicking on Visit Site. And now when I scroll down, Okay, now we see that the phone number is smaller and the email address is smaller too. Now, when we look at the home page, it looks like we're almost done. Let's add a new blog post. So to add a blog post, you want to go up to the top, click on Dashboard, and here on the dashboard, to add a new blog post, you want to click on Post on the left-hand side, and then here we can see all the posts that have been added to the website, the WordPress website to date. Now, note that Hello World is a blog post that comes with your WordPress installation, so we'll be deleting that later. For now though, let's go ahead and create a new blog post by clicking Add New. And then here on the Add New Post screen, you want to start by giving your blog post a title. So I'll just call this New Yoga Teas Have Arrived. And then in the text box here, you want to add any kind of text content you'd like or other content. Then on the right-hand side in the categories, I'm going to add this to the category called Blog by clicking on Add New Category. Then I'll add Blog, and then once again I'll click on the button that says Add New Category. We can also give this blog post some tags, so I think I'll call it Yoga as well as T-shirts. And also note that I'm separating these two different tags with a comma, and then I want to click on Add to add these two tags. And then at the bottom here where it says featured, I want to set the featured image. So I'm going to click on this link right here. And then we can either grab an image from the media library or we can upload a new file. This time I'm going to grab an image from the media library, so I think I'll use this one, this t-shirt. So I'll just click on that, and then I'll click on Set Featured Image to set the featured image. Also note here there's an excerpt section, so if I want to give this particular post a short excerpt, I can do that. So I think I'll just grab the first two sentences here of this particular blog post, and then I'll scroll down and add that right here. And then, let's see, here we go. So that looks good so far. The other thing that I would like to do is I'd like to add some images within this blog post. So I'm going to place the cursor where I want the small gallery to be located. Then I'm going to click on Add Media. And this time, actually, instead of adding just an image, I'm going to create a small gallery. So I'll click on Create Gallery. And then I want to choose the images that I want to have featured in the gallery. So I'll choose these 3 yoga t-shirts. Then here at the bottom, I'm going to click on Create a New Gallery. Okay, so here we can, once again, we can redrag these. We can drag these around and drop them to position them how we'd like. And when you have them in the right order you'd like, on the right-hand side, you can choose how many columns to display in this gallery. So I'm going to display 3 columns, so I'll leave it as 3, and then at the bottom I'll click on Insert Gallery. Okay, so here we go. So the next step is I just need to publish this post by clicking on Publish. And one last thing before we actually check out the post, I want to add a video to my blog post. So I want to show you how you can add a video here. So to do that, you just need to scroll down to wherever in the blog post you want the video to be displayed. So I'll just put my video at the end, and then you want to go find the URL of the video, whether it's Vimeo or YouTube. So I am going to go to YouTube, and here I have my video. Of course, this has nothing to do with yoga, but it's another video that I recommend you check out after watching this video, the top 10 most essential WordPress plugins every WordPress website should have. I'm going to post this in my blog post, and to do that, all I need to do is highlight and copy the URL for the video. So I'm just going to copy this URL, and then back on my WordPress blog post screen here, I'm just going to paste in the video URL like that. Then I'm going to click on Update to update this post. Okay, now the post has been updated. Let's check it out by clicking on View Post. And here we see the blog post that I just created. So at the top we have the blog post title, followed by the publish date, the author, the category, and tags. And then when I scroll down, we see here is the gallery that I created, and when I click on each one of these, I'm going to click on this yellow t-shirt right here. It opens up into a really nice light box display where I can see each of the images in a much larger widescreen way. So that is really neat. And then when I scroll down, here is the text of my blog post, and finally at the bottom here is my video. So when I click on it, then the YouTube video will start playing. Also note that here on the blog post you have some sharing features, so anyone can easily share your content, your blog post via Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, or any of the other social networks that you've set up. And then underneath that we have a short author bio with a gravatar here. And finally at the bottom you have your blog comment. So anyone can leave a comment on your blog post below. So the next thing that we need to configure on this WordPress website is the sidebar. Here on the right-hand side of the website, we see that there's a sidebar with all of the default widgets that are added when you install WordPress. So we need to remove all of these and add the ones that we actually want to be displayed, to have displayed here on the right-hand side. So to change the widgets, we want to go to the top left-hand side, hover over the website name, and you can either go directly to the widgets page by clicking on widgets here, or you can click on dashboard, and then on the dashboard you can hover over appearance and then click on widgets. So here we see, here's the primary normal full width sidebar, and there's all these default widgets that have been added here. What we need to do is remove all of these, and we want to add the widgets that we actually want. So the sidebar gives you a way through widgets to add customized content to your sidebar. So I'm going to remove these one by just dragging them over to the side and releasing to deactivate them. So I'm just dragging them over to remove them. And then we need to add the content that we actually want to have displayed here in the sidebar. So one thing that I want to add, because this is an e-commerce website, I want to make it really easy for anyone to find products in my product catalog. So one of the widgets that I'm looking for is the WooCommerce product search widget, which is located right at the bottom here. Let's see if we can find it. So here we have it, WooCommerce product search, a search box for products only. So I want to add that by just dragging it up to the primary sidebar and releasing it. You can give it a name if you'd like. I'll just call it search for products, and then I'll click on save. And then the other item that I want to add here in the primary sidebar is a featured products widget. So I'll look for the WooCommerce featured products. Let's see where that is. Right here, display a list of featured products on your site. So I'll grab that and add that as well by just dragging it to the primary sidebar and releasing it. Once again, I'll give it a title. I'll just call it Featured Products. And you can indicate how many products you want to have displayed. I'll choose 3, so I'll just change it to 3 and click on Save. And then you can add any other types of widgets that you'd like. You can add them in the same way by just dragging them over to the primary sidebar. So the other thing that I want to point out here is that you also in this theme have a number of different footer sidebar areas as well. We see we have 4 different options. I'm only going to use 3 of them, and we'll configure the footer in just a moment, but I do want to add the widgets that I want to have displayed here in the footer. So in footer number 1, I'm going to click on this button here to open it, and then I want to add my Flickr images. So I'm going to scroll down to where it says Flickr. Let's see if I can find that here. And here we see here's the Woo Flickr widget where I can populate photos from a Flickr ID. So I'm going to grab this and drag it up to the top over here, and then I'm going to release it right in the footer area. Next, in order for this to display, we need to find our Flickr ID. So you can find your Flickr ID by clicking on this ID Getter link. So I'm going to click on that. And here, you just want to add your Flickr ID name or username right here where it says username. You just want to add your own username instead. So I'm just going to add my Flickr username right there and click on Find. And here we see, here's my ID, so I'll just copy it. And then I want to go back to my WordPress website. So here's my Woo Flickr widget. So I want to first add my Flickr ID right here. Then I can indicate how many images that I want to have displayed. So I will choose to have 6 images displayed, and I'll leave all the other settings as they are. And I'll click on Save to save my Flickr settings. So in footer number 2 and footer number 3, the next thing that I want to add are some social icons to Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. So I'm going to open this up, but what we need to do is first we need to install a new plugin. So I'm going to go to the left-hand side here, click on Plugins, and then I'm going to click on Add New at the top, and I'm going to do a search here for the Simple Social Icons. So I'm just going to search for that and click on Search Plugins. Here it is at the top, so you can either click on Details to learn more about these simple social icons, or you can click on Install Now to install this plugin. I'm just going to click on Install Now to install this plugin. Are you sure you want to install this plugin? Yes, okay. Okay, so once the plugin has been installed, we need to activate it by clicking on Activate Plugin. And once the plugin is activated, the next step is we need to go back to our widget screen. So I'm going to go to Appearance, hover over Appearance, and click on Widgets. And now where it says Footer 2, I'm going to open up this widget area right here, and I'm going to look for the Simple Social Icons widget on my left-hand side. So here it is right here. Displays Select Social Icons. So I'm going to drag it up to footer number 2 and release it. Then you can give it a title. I'll call this Connect on the Web. And I'm going to leave the icon size as it is, and the radius and the alignment. I'll leave all of those as they are, but one thing I do want to change is the background color. So to match the colors on this particular Artificer default version of the theme for this Woo theme, I need to use this particular color. I happen to know what it is, and I'll post it in the video so you can see it more clearly, but it's this violet color. So I'm just going to override the background color and the background hover color with the color code here that matches my Woo theme. And then down below you want to add all the different URLs of the different social networks that you want to feature in the footer. So I think I would like to feature, for example, Twitter. So I'll add Twitter here. And I'd also like to feature YouTube, so I will add YouTube as well. And note that the URL starts with http:// and then the website domain for the social network you want, followed by a / and your actual ID on that social network. So the other one I want to add, let's see, I'll add Pinterest as well. Okay, so I'll just add 3 at the moment, and then you want to click on Save to save these settings. Once the Simple Social Icon settings have been saved, let's go take a look at the website by going up to the top and clicking on Visit Site. So here we're on our home page, and we have everything set up, although it looks like the footer area needs to be configured right here, but we do have all the other sections look pretty good. So we need to reset the footer settings down here. So let's do that first. I'm going to go up to the top, click on Dashboard. Then I'm going to click on the Artificer Woo Themes Options screen. And here where it says Footer Customization, you want to click on Footer Customization. Here at the top, you'll notice that there are a variety of different widget area layouts you can choose depending on how many widget areas you want to display. So at the moment, we have just one widget area displaying, which is why we just saw in the previous step, we just saw Flickr showing horizontally across the bottom footer, but actually I want to include 3 footer areas. So I'm going to click on this layout here with 3 different widget areas, and then I'm going to click on Save All Changes to save the changes. So now when we check out the site by going up to the top left-hand side and clicking on Visit Site, and now we see when I scroll down on the home page of the website, we see here are the Flickr photos, my Simple Social Icons, and we're missing one section right over here, one widget area. So what I want to add here is a sign-up form for anyone to easily be able to sign up for my email list to get updates. And what we're going toward will look something like this. So right now, this is the demo website that I've already completed. What I want to add right now is this sign-up form. So right now in the process, we are looking at this. So to add this form, we want to go back to the widget area. So I'm going to click on widgets here, right underneath the website name. I'm going to go directly to the widgets page by clicking on widgets. And then I'm going to open up footer number 3, and I already added the Magic Action Box widget here. So if you want to find out how to set up the Magic Action widget plugin, which is what you will need to add that really cool sign up form, then I recommend that you check out this video that I have over here called How to Add an Email Opt-in Form to Your WordPress Website. So it's a video I have, it's about a 25 or 30 minute video. I'm going to click on Browse Videos. here I am on my YouTube channel, and the video that you're looking for is this one right here that says how to add an email form to your WordPress website. And this will show you step by step how to add the magic action box to your WordPress website and how to set up a free MailChimp email service for growing your email list. So I recommend you check out this video to get the magic action box set up, and then when you're done, you want to go back to the widget screen over here on our WordPress website, and you will most likely already have your widget set up. So I've already gone through the process of adding the magic action box widget and configuring it and setting it up. So I'm just going to drag it over to my footer 3 area here, and I'm going to say get updates will be my title, and then I'm going to click on save to save the settings for this particular widget. So now when we go up to my website by clicking on visit site, and when we scroll down, now we see we have our Flickr widgets, our social icons, and our sign up form right here. So we're pretty much good to go. The last thing we need to do for the actual e-commerce functionality of the website is we need to set up the payment method and the shipping. So to set up the payment method and the shipping, you want to click on dashboard here. And then you want to go to WooCommerce and hover over WooCommerce, and you want to click on settings. And here on the WooCommerce settings screen, the first thing we notice here, we're on the general tab. Now note that currently the currency is being displayed in pounds, so I would like to change that to US dollars. So I'm going to click on United Kingdom, and then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to look for my location, which is California, US California. So I will click that. And then for currency right here, I'm going to click on this particular field. And I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to look for US dollars. All countries looks great. Yes, I want to enable the use of coupons. Everything else looks good. So I'm just going to click on this button here that says Save Changes to save the changes. Okay, so once we have the currency configured, the next step is I want to set up the payment gateways. So I'm going to click on Payment Gateways over here. And here we are on the Payment Gateways page. So note that these little purple check marks indicate that these different payment methods are active. So direct bank transfer, check payment, and PayPal are active. I actually first want to set a default. In this video, I'm going to be using PayPal as my payment method. Of course, there's all these other ways that you can choose if you'd like for a payment method, other payment methods. I'm going to click on PayPal right here as my default payment method and click on Save Changes. So once PayPal has been set as the default, now I need to disable the direct transfer and the check payment. So to do that, first I need to click on this link here. It says BACS. I'm going to click on that link. And here where it says Enable Bank Transfer, I'm going to uncheck it and scroll down and click on Save Changes. And then I'll do the same thing for the check link here. I'm going to click on check, and I'm going to uncheck this to disable the check payment and click on Save Changes. And finally, here on PayPal, I'm going to click on PayPal, and we see that PayPal is enabled, which is great, but I need to add my PayPal email so I can start using PayPal as a payment method. So I'm going to add my email address here for PayPal. And then I'm going to scroll down, and if you have Enable PayPal Sandbox checked, then it's a good idea to uncheck this because this is used to test payments, and I don't want to test payments right now. So I'm going to make sure that's unchecked, and then I'm going to click on Save Changes to save the changes. Once the payment gateways are all set up, the next step is we need to check out shipping. So I'm going to click on shipping right here at the top. And here we have all of our different shipping options. So you can set your shipping options to be flat rate, free shipping, international delivery, or local pickup. We see right now that free shipping is enabled, which is actually what I want. So I'm going to keep free shipping on this particular website. So I'm just going to click on the default right here, free shipping, and then I'll click on Save Changes to save the changes. So you can click on each one of these links at the top, starting with flat rate if you'd like. And here we see that it is not enabled, it's unchecked, so that's good. I don't want to have flat rate checked. Free shipping should be checked though, so I just want to double check it, and it is checked, it's enabled, so that's good. International delivery, you can check out these features if you'd like. This is unchecked, so for me that's good at the moment. I don't want to have international delivery. Local delivery looks great. I don't want to have that one either, and it's unchecked. And finally, local pickup is also not enabled, disabled. So that looks good. I do want to go back, however, to shipping options by clicking on shipping options right here. And note that it says right here, enable the shipping calculator on the cart page. So because I'm going to be offering free shipping, it's pretty clear that the shipping is 0. So I'm going to remove the shipping calculator from my cart page by unchecking it. And then I'm going to click on Save Changes. Once the shipping options have been saved, the next step is I want to add a coupon to my e-commerce website. So I want to be able to give potential customers a coupon to use for products on my site. So to create a coupon, I'm going to click on Coupons. Underneath WooCommerce, I'm going to click on Coupons. And here at the top, I'm going to click on Add Coupon to add a coupon. And the first thing is we need to give this coupon a coupon code. So I'll call this Summer Fun. And if you'd like, you can give, looks like it collapsed. To open it, just click on this caret right here. You can give your coupon a description if you'd like, and then there's all these different discount types you can choose. So when I click on this, you see that you can create a cart discount, a cart percentage discount, a product discount, or a product percentage discount. I'll leave it at an overall cart discount. You can add the coupon amount. I'll make this just $5 by putting a 5 in there. And you can see if you scroll down, there's all these other different criteria and settings that you can choose to specify what this coupon is for and all of the different details of the coupon. I'm going to keep this coupon really simple by just giving it a code and a general order amount, and then I'm going to click Publish to publish this coupon. Okay, so the coupon has been created. Let's go take a look at our website now. I'm going to go up to the top and click on Visit Site. And here we are on the website of our responsive e-commerce free Artificer WooThemes WordPress theme. So here on the home page, I'm just going to scroll down. It looks like everything is pretty much set up the way we want. So I think we're pretty much done here. Let's take a look at the checkout process when a potential customer comes to your website and wants to order a product. So I'm going to click on this particular item right here, this Yoga Slim Fit Tee, by clicking on this. And here we see we have the colors and sizes. So I'm going to choose navy and I'll choose a size medium. And I will just scroll down and that looks good. I'm going to add this to the cart by clicking on Add to Cart. Okay, then you'll get a message, Yoga Slim Fit Tee was successfully added to your cart. So I can view the cart or I can keep looking for more products. So I'm going to scroll down. I will also want to add this ebook for beginners, this Yoga for Beginners ebook. So I'm going to click on Add to Cart to add that directly to the cart. And then there's a link here that says View the Cart. So I'll click on View Cart to view my cart. And here we see on my cart page that I have 2 products in my cart. I have the Yoga Slim Fit Tee for $40 and the ebook Yoga for Beginners for free. So what I need to do now, if I'd like, we notice also that here are the cart totals. The cart subtotal is $40, the shipping is free shipping, and the order total is therefore $40. But remember I have this coupon. So when I add my coupon right here, Summer Fun, and click on Apply Coupon, once the coupon code has been applied successfully, now when I scroll down, note that the cart total, which used to be $40, is now $35 because I have a $5 order discount on the order. So if I want to proceed to checkout, I just want to click on this button here that says Proceed to Checkout. And here we are on the checkout page. Now note that I have this sidebar on the right hand side, and actually I note that that was also showing up on the cart page. So whenever I have an e-commerce website, I really want to make sure that there's no distraction and that a potential customer can just check out really easily and their focus is really on the product and the checkout experience. So I want to remove this sidebar from both the cart page and the checkout page. To do that, I'm going to go up to the top, click on Edit Page, and then I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here, and you'll note that here it says Artificer Custom Settings. Here's the layout, and currently we have the sidebar enabled, but I want to create a full width layout here. So I'm going to click this box right here, this full width box, and then I'm going to come to the top and click on Update to update this page. And now when I view the page by clicking on View Page, Now you'll note the checkout looks so much nicer, it's a lot cleaner, and the focus is completely just on the checkout page itself. So let's go ahead and change the cart page as well. I'm going to click on cart here in my menu navigation area. And once again, we see here I have my cart, but I also have the sidebar. So let's remove the sidebar by clicking on Edit Page. And then I want to scroll down to the bottom, and I want to just click on this full width box layout right there and click on Update right at the top. I'm going to click on Update. Okay, now to view the cart page, I'm going to click on View Page, and now we see the cart page looks much better as well. So it's so much better to remove the sidebar when you're on the cart page of your e-commerce website. So now when I click on Proceed to Checkout, and here I'm on the checkout page, so someone would just fill in their billing address, their shipping address, and then they would scroll down, they would review their order, and once they've reviewed the order, then they would click on this button here that says Place Order. The only catch is that I'm getting this error message that says, sorry, it seems that there are no available payment methods for your state. Please contact us if you require assistance or wish to make alternate arrangements. So here is the state listed here. There's something going on. Let's take a look at what's happening. So I'm not sure why this error message is showing up. Let's take a look at our payment methods by going up to the top, clicking on Dashboard. Then I want to go to WooCommerce Settings, click on Settings. And then I want to go to Payment Gateways and click on Payment Gateways. So here we see PayPal is enabled. When I click on PayPal right here, oh, actually, here we go. So PayPal is listed as default here, but it's not enabled. It needs to be a purple check mark here. So let's go to PayPal by clicking on PayPal. And then here is the issue. So we need to make sure that, I guess I had missed it in the previous step, we need to make sure that Enable Disable is checked. So make sure that this is checked if you're using PayPal, and then I want to scroll down and click on Save Changes to save the changes. So now when I go back to the website by clicking on Visit Site, and then I want to click on Checkout right here. Here we are on the checkout page. I'm going to scroll down and it looks like, okay, now PayPal has been activated and it's showing up right here. So in this video, I'm using PayPal just because it's the most easy payment method to set up right now. However, as you saw previously, you can set other payment methods. Now, the good thing with PayPal is that a potential customer could use their PayPal account to sign in and pay for the product on your website, or they can simply log in as a guest at PayPal and they can use a credit card or a debit card to pay for the product. So a potential customer does not need to have a PayPal account to pay via PayPal. So when they click on this link here, place order, then they'll go to the PayPal page where once again they can log into their PayPal account and pay via PayPal, or they can sign up as a guest, and as it notes here, they can pay with their credit card or debit card if they don't have a PayPal account or do not want to use PayPal. So this is how you set up the free responsive e-commerce WordPress theme by WooThemes called Artificer. So I hope you found this video helpful in setting up your responsive e-commerce website. And if so, please feel free to leave a comment below and like the video. Also, if you know any friends who may need a responsive e-commerce website using WordPress, feel free to send them this video and share this video with your friends. Finally, I'll be coming out with more videos as well on WordPress and other topics related to internet marketing and building a business online. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel for updates on my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.